All right, guys, it is Behavior here, another episode of Just My Opinion Reviews. And this is my spoiler review, my spoiler recap, my ending explained for Them, Season 2, The Scare on Amazon Prime. Again, I want to let you know that this is going to be spoiler filled, okay? I'm going to spoil this up, down, left, right, in, and out as if you've already seen it. That is your warning. If you don't want to be spoiled, turn away now. That is your second warning. I'm going to go ahead and get into spoilers right now. Now, one thing that I did not like about this series is the supernatural aspect of Edmund Gaines going around killing people, hunting them when the man died 2 years ago around 1989. Now, you may be saying to yourself, okay, Brandon, other horror films, other horror series have done things like that before, Freddy Krueger, and we can go down the list. Now, a large portion of this series felt so realistic to me because it was parallel with police brutality in the 90s, and we know the tensions are high. So when you throw in a serial killer in there as well, I was saying, man, this can actually happen. But I don't think that someone can kill themselves and 2 years later come back as a ghost and just start breaking people's bones as if they was hit by a train, which was in the trailers. That was one of the aspects that I just did not like. It really grinded my gears and bugged me. I'll give you an example. In episode 8, when the son was with the father and in the kitchen and they heard the noise upstairs, he grabs a knife, goes upstairs, and then there's a Raggedy Andy yarn everywhere, and he's thrown down the stairs and hurts himself, nearly kills himself. How is that possible? I mean, you just can't do it. I understand what they was trying to do. Edmund was taken over by the evil demon that was within him, going around killing people, and he tried to get his twin sister, Detective Reeves, to do the same thing, follow suit, so they can go around terrorizing everybody, and she didn't take the bait. But still, just how is that possible? I just really did not care for that supernatural aspect of the series. Now, of course, we have Miss Deborah Oriende, who was in season 1, who is coming back in season 2, but she is playing her granddaughter in this series in season 2 from season 1. In season 1, she was playing the mother of the family. She had a daughter, and the daughter that was in season 1 showed up at the end of season 2 in episode 8, and she's the one that gave her twin boys, who was Edmund and Detective Reeves, to the foster mom. I did not see that reveal happening at all. That caught me completely off guard. And that's why I was saying in my non-spoiler review, my other video, that I like how they depicted generational trauma being passed down from child to child. I thought that was perfect, and I believe in that wholeheartedly. She was saying, hey, there was something that happened to me years ago and it's still happening and it's just not going to go away. And I am not mentally equipped to raise these children. Please take them off my hands. I think that you will do a better job. And then gave each child the Raggedy Andy and the Raggedy Andy doll, which is why Edmund was so linked to that, and it kept popping up all throughout the series. I thought that was perfect. I love that a ton as far as the storytelling aspect is concerned. But it is also sad what they did go through as children, as teenagers, as adults. Now, we've all heard about the Raggedy Andy and or Raggedy Ann doll. The doll was created back in 1915, and it has so many meanings and depictions. In some cases, it represents anti-vaccination. In other cases, it represents the same doll from Annabelle in The Conjuring and how it can be haunted. But also, like Pam Grier said, it also can depict Black people or Black women as mammies, and how disrespectful or how it represents minstrel shows as well, with all the trauma that goes through that. So you can pick and choose which one you want, but I think in this case it's the latter. And I kind of like how they infuse that in there as well too, just to kind of give you some historical background and or context. But of course, the Raggedy Andy and Raggedy Ann doll are brother and sisters, and Edmund and Detective Reeves in this are brother and sister as well. They were twins. And also, the last thing about the Raggedy Ann doll, the family legend says a candy conversation heart was sewn into her fabric body. This sweet tradition lives on in Raggedy dolls created today. After Marcella's tragic death as a teenager, her grieving father wrote down those Raggedy Ann stories as a tribute to her memory. You also realize in episode 8 of this series, when Detective Reeves was looking in the closet, she said, hey, these are memories and all the things that both of them had to remember from the past, especially Edmund when he was trying to make his twin sister remember all the horrible things that happened to him or them both when they were smaller. So I kind of thought that was interesting how they tied that into the story as well. Now, it could be considered clever or a bit silly, the killings, the murders that took place in this series by Edmund, the ghost, the red-haired man that was popping up in the mirrors. I still just want a better explanation than that. But the reason why he killed the first foster lady is because she was very, very abusive, chasing him around the house. And we saw that they hid up under the sink. That's why he broke her body and put her under the sink. He killed the twins, the Asian twins, the Koreans, because they were twins, and he was trying to help her remember that he had a twin. Also, Benito Boy was killed in the backseat of her police car. The reason why is he had a brother that came from Mexico. They were staying with him, but the brother was just too bad, and they had to send him back to Mexico. And Detective Reeve got to stay, but Edmund didn't get to stay. So Edmund was sent away back to the foster care, just like Benito's brother was sent back to Mexico. So that ties in as well. He's using these killings to try to talk to his sister. That's a bit extreme if you ask me, but you know, those are all linked, and that's why those killings did take place. However, things that really just don't make sense to me is Pam Grier's character does not have any type of blood lineage to this family, but she was also affected. What, did she chop her own head off? I don't understand that. She got the phone call saying, hey, if you want your daughter and your grandson alive, please come to the store. Was Edmund there? Or early on in the series, she almost chopped her hand off twice when she was cutting carrots and when she was making dinner doing something else. But then her head, she's just decapitated. And so, I don't know. Maybe you want to get mad at me in the comment section, Brandon, why don't you understand this? Why wasn't you paying attention? But I don't know. I just really wasn't buying that, like why she had to die as well. I just really didn't care for the supernatural aspect. I did like the story and the way that it unfolded. It was just that supernatural aspect that just really grinded my gears a bit and didn't work for me all the way. But this series does go to show how important someone's childhood is. If they have a horrible childhood, if they don't have a nice foundation early on, like they said in the series from that foster man, that white man that took over Edmund and gave him back when he was 12 years old, that wrote in the book, like, hey, they don't have a strong foundation when their children is trying to like build a house on some sand. It's just not going to work out. And at the drop of a dime, they can just go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And that's what happened to Edmund. Get help, seek therapy, seek professional help if you're going through things, because we can't be out here killing people and killing yourself and coming back as a demon, you know, trying to hunt them down. He was a horrible actor at first, trying to get it down, but when he put on that suit at the arcade and had the knife in his hands, he was really getting into character, and also scared Miss Rhonda off, played by Tamika Shannon. That woman is beautiful. I need to look her up and see what else she's done. But when he had the date at her house and he came out with the stocking cap over his head, with the knife and all that, then showed up to the audition like the next day or the next week. My goodness gracious, bro, you need to chill out with all that. You need to chill out. Yeah, but then again, him going around breaking bones as a ghost, I don't know. I just could have did without that. And also McKinney, did y'all think that he was responsible for any of this? I like that he ended up dying at the end because he was very, very racist, but that was just so random and unnecessary in my opinion, but they used it as a plot point to clear Detective Reeves' name, and so I guess it worked out. It's just the execution was just kind of sloppy. Also, I do like Detective Reeves because the amount of things that she has to go through. We as Black people always have to go through these microaggressions of racism with people that we work with, but in this series, there really wasn't microaggressions, there was macro. I mean, her coworkers are calling her a black bitch just because she wants them to move out the way so that she can park in her parking spot. Her old partner was like, little people like you, they get a little bit of authority and then they want to take over the place. I mean, it was just so many scenes like that in this series where I just wanted to vomit out of disgust in the way that we're treated sometimes. But overall, guys, I did enjoy the series. I had a good time. I like how everything circled back around and how this was linked to season 1 with Detective Reeves essentially playing her granddaughter and how that generational trauma was passed down from, you know, through the bloodlines from daughter to daughter to daughter to son. You know, I thought that was pretty dope, pretty clever, and I did not expect that at all. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.